This is not a revision of history, but re-envisioning of our future, where our great sacrifice is a sacrament, where what is sacred is safeguarded. 20 years is not the place to end, but just the place we started, with the belief that there is no sacrament more sacred than the heart is.
All the years I had an office as a counselor, I had a sign in my office that said, "The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good people to do nothing."
In the Quran, there's an ayat that God spoke, "O mankind, we created you from a single pair of a male and female, and I made you into nations and tribes that ye may know each other, not that you may despise each other."
The number of hate crimes in this country, in particular hate crimes directed specifically against religious groups, has been on the increase. And as a response to this, JAM ALL decided to host a conference in February of 2020, and it was entitled Transforming Bigotry and Hate from Awareness to Action. And the conference really had two goals. The first one was to raise awareness of the root causes of the hate and bigotry that underlay all of these violent crimes. And second, to examine how we as individuals and as a caring community can take positive steps to make a difference. We had a panel discussion of faith leaders discussing bigotry in their own faith tradition and what they had experienced. We had a discussion on recognizing and becoming aware of our own biases, and many of us don't realize that we have biases. The keynote speaker for the conference was Arno Michaelis, a former leader of a white supremacist group who is now a practicing Buddhist.
A reformed white supremacist was the main speaker. Why were we having such a controversial speaker?
He shared his story of transformation, how the love and concern and kindness of other people literally transformed his life. And one of the most powerful lessons that he addressed was the importance of learning how to truly and deeply listen to another person, even if, and especially when their viewpoints are very different from yours.
I'm going to share with you my technique when I'm working with someone in a white nationalist group. And I'm talking to them about changing their hearts and their minds and living their life in a better way. The first thing I did, and the first thing I do, as was mentioned in the workshop reports, is listen. If you want someone to listen to you, it's a good thing to model that behavior first of all. So if you listen to someone else, and I know it's difficult when they have opinions that are essentially saying you don't have a right to exist. That's not an easy thing to do, but it is very effective. And it's all the more effective when you can, after you've listened to that person, to say, like, what you believe threatens me. It threatens who I am. I feel threatened. I feel unsafe because of those opinions that you have, because these are the actual effects on me. You're not going to get to that point of dialogue until you listen first.
We discovered that bigotry was part of his family culture, that being part of a supremacist group gave him an identity and power. He changed his views when he was exposed to the kindness of people he was taught to hate.
That Arno talked about kindness and love as being the thing, the agent, the transformative agent of change for him. I was so impacted by that and recognizing that our kindness to an individual and our love for an individual can really melt the heart.
Hopefully the more this type of thing is talked about, the more it can spread. The more we talk about issues and problems, the more likely we are to discover solutions.
It was an exciting day. We had between 150 and 200 people from many different faiths. And one of the best things for me, just observing what was going on, was what happened at lunch. People from different faiths, different perspectives, different backgrounds would gather around a table over a meal and just talk and share ideas. It was so exciting.
A great panel of religious leaders in our community to really illustrate that we all have common aspirations. We all have common goals.
My name is Sydney Seeley. I'm with Students for Peace, and after today, I'm much more aware of my biases and prepared to put myself in situations that I feel uncomfortable for growth.
Participate in workshops and functions such as this is a step toward coming back to our space of being one with all.
In our Torah, we read, Vayipach ba'apov nishmas chayim. When God breathes spirit into your nostrils, as it says in the workings of creation in Genesis, that is a kiss, that we share breath together with God. When we sit in a room, anyone who is breathing, anyone who has the spirit to communicate, has the power to love each other the way that God loves us in that first breath.
Om Namo Shivaya.
This is a vision. This is a vision where division does not subtract from us, but differences are additions. This is an ambition to hold a world together that is being torn apart. Spiritual traditions that they say are worlds apart in reality are all part of a whole, and the whole is holy.
Peace be upon you.
Peace be upon you.
Peace be unto you.
Peace be upon you. Peace be upon you.
Peace be with you.
It is time for us as human beings to enlarge our viewpoint, raise our conscious levels.
There's so much diversity in this world at the moment that we need to bring people of different faith, people of different racial background, culture, in a place where we can encourage them to live in harmony, peace, love, and understanding.
My participation with JAM ALL Interfaith has taught me that interfaith isn't just interesting, it's important. And being with JAM has exposed me and opened me to so many blessings, like the blessing of engaging with social issues and the world through the lens of faith, but not restricted to one faith's lens.
People who do not understand Judaism or Jewish people have a tendency of negativity toward Jewish things, Jewish people.
Lay people can meet together in community, become friends, and this friendship and love will spread out wherever they go.
Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful citizens can change the world. Indeed, this is the only thing that ever has.
Now when I see anyone expressing fear, hatred, or stereotype of Muslims, I always speak up, and I invite them to come to a JAM event.
We have effectively managed to bring people of different faiths and persuasions to the table, where they can meet, greet, speak, and get to know and understand one another in a safe, cordial, and amiable forum where they can engage in conversations. They're always free to speak their mind, meet one another, and understand and appreciate each other. And that has helped a great, great deal in bringing about that common understanding and creating the bond.
It changed my life for the better. It replaced ignorance with truth and discovery, and it built lasting relationships where there were none. And I think we're needed.
What I admired about JAM, it had a lot of love, a lot of socializing. Strength of JAM, and I got to share this because of being, former president of other interfaith council, etc. One of the strengths of JAM was the socializing effect. There was a sort of fraternity, friendship, and bond that was built between the members.
Yes.
And that is the strength of JAM.
Yeah.
In our Psalms, we read, Hayotzer yachad libam, hamevin el kol ma'asehem. God forms everyone from the same heart. And when you know this, you will understand everything.
I am amazed at how many great events we've had, how many picnics we've had, how many mosques and churches and synagogue events we've had, and how over the 20 years, I don't even know of one incident of violence or even unruliness that ever happened in a JAM meeting.
As part of the board, I have been given this opportunity to be involved in so many different events in the last few years, especially interfaith cafes where we would invite people to come to our mosque from all backgrounds and all faiths. It opened up a new world for me.
Such a great thing for me personally to collaborate with such a like-minded, loving, spirited, and talented people in helping to build interfaith peace in our communities. The bridge building work and the peace building work are so important in this time.
Being with JAM has helped me to get to know beautiful people, beautiful inside and out, in the fullness of their individual, diverse identities, including their faiths.
I would not be the person that I am today if I did not respect that relationship with people of other faiths.
Being a member of JAM ALL has broadened my horizon of knowing the amount of peace and love that's out there in the world and knowing what a big difference I can make.
I think the future of interfaith is going to depend on groups like ours. We're finding burgeoning numbers around the country and around the world. So what we do and the way in which we're able to engage people will shape what creates the future of interfaith.
Just knowing that I can make a small change and I can bring out positivity around the people around me and bring out that positive energy, it's been an amazing experience. It gives you the message of hope, and yes, we cannot change the whole world at the same time, and it's going to take a long time, but one small step can go a long way. And that's what JAM ALL has taught me, and I've been honored to be a part of it.
I realized that I could be a beacon for hope, understanding, acceptance, and respect.
We have just established a youth arm, which is JAM ALL Interfaith Youth. And that group, starting with high school students and college students, are meeting together to create their own type of activities which will engage the next generation. There is great hope for the future.
I'm a junior in high school, and I work with the social media team as well as the youth initiative within JAM. I became a part of JAM less than a year ago, but in my time since, I've been fortunate enough to learn from so many amazing people. It's been extremely insightful, and I'm so lucky to be exposed to new perspectives and be able to broaden my way of thinking.
Each generation will need to discover and learn from the other, hopefully, as we've done in JAM ALL.
Interfaith work of JAM or any other interfaith group is extremely important in attaining a society in which people are open to the ideas of others. Interfaith discussions are monumental in learning about each other and moving forward with success. JAM has given me many wonderful opportunities that I never would have been exposed to otherwise.
I feel that organizations like JAM ALL Interfaith will be needed forever until we replace conflicts, bigotry, and hatred with acceptance, knowledge, and love. Until we have a more divine world, we will need to continue the conversations.
Come on, everybody, put your hands together. It's got to get better. All over the world, listen to these words. People come. life has been out of control. You're confused. But don't worry your soul. It will get better. It's gotta get better. It will get better. It's gonna be better. It will get better. 'Cause God is in control, y'all. Hey. Thank you, Lord. What about Ferguson? Even in Chicago, God's gonna make it better. Hey, it will get better. 'Cause God, He's in full control. Oh, thank you, Lord. Hey. Gotta get better.